Why would we want to do this? The brain at positive performs significantly better than it does at negative, neutral, or stressed. Intelligence rises, creativity rises, energy level rises, every single business outcome improves. Like, oh yeah, strategy implementation, innovation, performance, and change. How can we get their brain to focus on the positive? How can we create a culture where people are swimming in water of the positive? So that anyone who comes into it, the highest level, is anyone who comes into our culture who's negative becomes positive, because that's our culture. Once they get in the water, they don't have any other choice but to become, now it's not going to work for everybody. Some people are, it's almost like they came out that way, some people, but then hopefully we're catching them at the recruitment process. Hopefully, yes?
Have you seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
So as soon as you said something like that, I was immediately thinking about when he had all those people there and he had them and they were just like screaming, jumping up and down. Was that one, one of those acts where you're reframing people's minds?
Yeah, what are we focusing on? What are we focused on? I've done work with organizations. I did a, thank you for that. I did a project with the IT department of News Corporation. And we did a retreat workshop where they wanted to improve their team working, their problem solving, and their external and their customer service. They were getting more and more people within the organization, internal customer service, ringing in. And when I went to visit the department, I'll never forget the feeling. There was like a buzz of energy, because everyone was on task, everyone was inspired. You could feel it. The whole department was filled with this, people were having conversations, but they were positive, up, and purposeful conversations. You could tell this is the water they were swimming in. It wasn't just one person creating this, it was all of them. On the other hand, guess who it started with? The guy at the top. We have to be leading the way. We have to be modeling the way if this is going to happen. So, back to this quote. On the other hand, does it always work that way? Teresa Amable, great inner work lives is what the best leaders encourage. That's what we're talking about. So we're talking about some thoughts and approaches for that, to encourage consistently positive emotion, strong motivation, favorable perception of the organization, their work, and their colleagues. On the other hand, doesn't always work that way. Here's the rest of the quote. The worst managers undermine inner work life, often unwittingly, as seemingly mundane workday events can make or break employees' inner work lives. Anybody ever work for somebody like that? Notice, undermine inner work life, often unwittingly. How many managers or supervisors, even as they're undermining people's inner work life, would do it on purpose? Anybody who's doing this is any leader who's doing this is kind of getting in their own way, right? As a leader, they're responsible to achieve certain results with these people. And yet, if they're undermining their inner work life, we've already said, Sean Acor says, brains at positive improves just about every performance measure. So the extent to which positive inner work life is undermined, the leader is working against themselves. I don't know, some days just running out of coffee would undermine my inner work life. How about you? So make sure there's coffee to start. So how can we avoid, so what's this talk about? This gets back to what we talked about when we introduced emotional intelligence. What did I say the fundamental skill of emotional intelligence was? It was awareness. Awareness, and there's two kinds of awareness. There's self-awareness, there's people awareness, other awareness, which we call empathy. So this starts with, as a leader, sort of having awareness. How are they going? Are they happy to be here? How can we make it more happy while staying on target? Remember that quote about inspiration as well as driving results. How can we encourage them to improve their performance in a positive, inspiring way? Because as Sean Acor has demonstrated, positivity is the key to improved performance.